This is the DJI Power 2000 portable power station, a compact rectangular brick with clean lines, two solid side handles, and a front panel full of ports and a clear screen. It's about 17.6 inches long, under 9 inches wide, and just under 13 inches tall, so it tucks into a car trunk or RV cabinet without much fuss. At about 48 pounds, it's not something I want to carry far, but the handles make short moves easy. From my experience, the build feels tough enough for road trips and job sites, with a chassis that shrugs off scuffs and a screen that's readable indoors and out. I came into this test with a mix of curiosity and caution. I rely on portable power a lot for camping, quick shoots, and home backup, and I've been burned before by units that promise big numbers, but choke under real loads or sound like a jet engine when fans kick in. The Power 2000 got my attention because of its fast recharge claim and a 3,000-watt stable output, which is enough to handle a lot of household appliances and power tools I actually use. In my opinion, the shape and layout hint at how DJI expects this to be used, in a car, on a shelf, or under a desk, with all cables accessible from the front, so I don't have to spin the unit around. Key features I look for in a station like this are capacity, output, noise, recharge speed, port variety, safety, and how it fits a real day. This model runs a 2048-watt LFP pack. LFP stands for lithium iron phosphate, a cell chemistry known for better thermal stability and longer cycle life than many older lithium designs. That usually means safer operation and more years before the battery noticeably fades. The 3,000-watt stable output is the headline here. Watts are about how much a device can deliver at once, while watt-hours are the size of the fuel tank. With 3,000 watts on tap, I can run most kitchen countertop gear like an electric kettle, toaster oven, or induction burner one at a time, plus tools like a miter saw or an air compressor within their rated draw. If you've ever watched a station trip off when a motor or heating element spikes, you know why that steady output matters. I put it through simple, real tasks. I boiled water on a 1,500-watt kettle, ran a 1,200-watt induction burner for lunch, and later charged a laptop, 2 cameras, a drone battery hub, and a 12-volt fridge at the same time. It didn't blink. The readout on the front shows input, output, and battery percentage. It's not cluttered, which I appreciate when I'm juggling cables and don't want to decode icons. For anyone new to this, that screen is your fuel gauge and your speedometer. You see how fast you're draining the tank and how fast you're refilling it. The noise level is a quiet highlight. DJI lists it as low as 30 dB, and that tracks with what I hear. Under light to moderate loads, I needed to lean in to notice the fans. When I pushed it harder, it stayed calm. That matters if you're sleeping in an RV, recording audio, or just don't want a humming cube in a small room. It's perfect for a van or cabin overnight where silence helps you actually rest. Recharge speed is the other big hook. DJI says 0 to 80% in 55 minutes from AC. In my tests from a garage outlet, I consistently got from about 10% to around 80% in roughly an hour, sometimes a touch under. For context, that's the difference between babysitting a power station for half a day and plugging it in during lunch so it's ready by the time you pack up. When I'm bouncing between locations that have grid power, this is the feature that makes the Power 2000 easy to live with. I can top up during a coffee stop and keep the day moving. From my experience, fast AC charging is the single biggest quality of life win here. Another standout is the 10 milliseconds UPS function. UPS means uninterruptible power supply. You plug the station into the wall, then plug your desktop, router, or gear into the station. If the grid drops, the station flips to battery in about 10 milliseconds. I tested it with a tower PC and a monitor, and neither flickered off. It's not for data center racks, but it's great for home office uptime during a storm. Twice as fast as the Power 1000 on paper, and it felt seamless in practice. Ports matter more than specs on a page. The Power 2000 has 15 outputs, including the usual AC outlets, USB-C and USB-A for phones and laptops, a 12-volt car-style socket, and dual full SDC ports. SDC stands for Smart DC, and it's DJI's way of pushing efficient DC power to gear like drone batteries without converting to AC first. DC to DC is more efficient and often faster than going through a wall-style charger. If you own DJI drones or gimbals, these ports can be a time saver. If you don't, they're less useful, and you might wish for more universal outputs. I also want to be clear for folks planning off-grid days. Solar charging and car charging use adapters, and those are separate purchases. Depending on how you rig solar, those SDC ports may be involved. You obviously can't use a single physical socket for two things at once, so think about your port plan before you head out. On the safety side, the unit uses a smart BMS, battery management system to watch temperature and voltage, a flame-retardant housing, and what DJI calls a sub-nano coating on critical boards to help with moisture and dust. That's reassuring, but I still treat it like electronics. I don't leave it out in the rain, and I keep the ports covered when I'm in dusty spots. I couldn't find an official IP rating, so I handle it like a rugged but not waterproof device. Expansion is a new hook for this line. The Power 2000 supports add-on batteries up to a total of 22.5 kilowatt hours. That's a serious reserve, enough for multi-day home essentials like a fridge, lights, and network during an outage if you're smart about usage. Those expansion packs are sold separately, and if you go that route, I recommend mapping out your loads to avoid surprises. Short version, you can start with the base unit and grow into something that covers a whole weekend off-grid. Let me talk about the practical trade-offs I ran into. At 48 pounds, it's a two-handle carry. I'm fine with that around the house, to the car, and from the car to a campsite, but it's not a backpack solution. Also, the box includes the AC cable, and that's it. If you want the car charger, the solar adapters, or the specific SDC cables for fast-charging DJI batteries, you're shopping for extras. I wish the essential adapters were in the box, because they're part of the real experience. Stock can be hit or miss right after launch, so I'd build in time to source what you need. In my opinion, this is the biggest friction point for new owners. There are a few usability notes worth sharing. The top surface is flat but not a charger pad. I don't mind, but a wireless phone pad would have been handy. The all-front port layout is great in tight spaces. I can rack it against a wall and still plug everything in. The display is readable under sunlight if you shade it with a hand. The fan profile is gentle, which made it easier to work next to it. I'd still place it where the vents can breathe, especially under sustained heavy loads. For power math, here's a quick baseline using real numbers to help anyone new. If you run a 100-watt laptop for 10 hours, that's roughly 1,000 watt-hours, about half the battery. If you boil a kettle at 1,500 watts for 10 minutes, that's 250 watt-hours. A 12-volt fridge pulling 60 watts for 24 hours is about 440 watt-hours. Actual results vary with temperature, inverter overhead, and how hard the fans need to spin, but this gives you a feel for what 2048WO looks like in daily life. From my experience, the Power 2000 thrives in 3 roles. It's perfect for road trips and camping when I want real appliances and quiet nights. It's perfect for home backup when I just need a few circuits alive and my PC to ride through a flicker. It's perfect for creative work where I run lights, monitors, laptops, and charge camera and drone batteries on a changing schedule. The fast AC recharge keeps me mobile, and the noise profile keeps me sane. I'd recommend this for anyone who needs a strong 120-volt AC backbone, quick turnarounds on grid power, and the option to expand later. If you're deep into DJI gear, the dual SDC ports are a plus. If your plan is heavy solar every day, budget for the right panels and adapters, and sketch out your port usage so your charging workflow doesn't collide with your device charging. If you just want something light to carry by hand all day, this is probably more capacity and weight than you need. In my opinion, the value proposition rests on 3 pillars: speed, silence, and stability. The 0 to 80% in about 55 minutes means I can refuel between tasks. The low noise means I can sleep near it or record video without fan whine creeping into a mic. The 3,000-watt stable output means I don't tiptoe around startup surges or heating elements. The trade-offs are the accessory buy-in and the heft. For me, the speed and output justify the package, as long as I plan the accessories at the same time I buy the unit. In conclusion, the DJI Power 2000 feels like a mature entry in this space, with real muscle and a thoughtful layout that suits life on the move or at home. The LFP battery chemistry and smart protections inspire confidence. The UPS handoff is quick, and the front-facing design is easy to live with. I do wish more cables came standard, and I still want an official weather rating. But after a stretch of cooking, working, and charging with it, I kept finding excuses to use it, which says a lot. If your checklist reads 3,000 watt output, 2 kilowatt hours capacity, fast AC recharge, low noise, and room to grow with expansion packs, this hits all of those in a tidy box. Check the comments of this video for a link to see the current pricing of the DJI Power 2000 portable power station. Thank you for watching.